Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So what I've got for you today is a radiator replacement on a BMW 320D. Mine's the M Sport, but I don't think that makes a difference. What is happening is I've got the coolant light coming on. I'm topping it up. Coolant light keeps coming on about a day later. So took it to a garage and they pressure tested the system, and it absolutely squirted out of the front, and it's leaking all from the bumper to the middle, and it appears to be just a bad radiator. So we're going to be replacing the one on the car. Now, first things first, we're gonna need to jack the car up so I can get underneath to the radiator hose on the bottom there, one on the top. They're pretty simple clips. Now, I think it's only a couple of bolts holding it in. So we got, I think, maybe 2 or 3 plus a couple of O-rings, brackets that need to be moved out the way from the top. So first things first, I'm going to jack it up on the front, put some axle stands underneath, and then we're going to have a little go on this. Shouldn't take you too long at all. This only requires a few basic hand tools and just something to catch the coolant, so like a oil pan but for your coolant, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to dig straight in, we're going to jack it up, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do next. So the car's up in the air, and now I'm going to open the bonnet up. And we're going to be working from the top for a minute, and then we'll have to drain out our whatever coolant's left. But I just got to take off this panel here, and hopefully that'll show me the fan. That'll have to come out or just away, and then we'll hopefully have access to the radiator. So first things first, this little air box here. So first of all, 2 trim clips either side of this, and then 2 T20s to remove this panel here. That comes off, move that out of the way, put that there in a minute, and that releases this from here. So now it's just a case of pulling it from the air box, and that just directs the air into the air box, and now I have a bit more access behind here. So I'm gonna unplug the fan with 2 hands probably. Yeah, so just that plug out of the way there, and then you should have a little clip holding one of the pipes in there. Move that out the way, and we should be able to slide this up. One little T20 in the corner there where my finger is. Might be one on the bottom as well. Let me let you know now. Yeah, just the one T20 top right hand corner if you're looking at it from here, but top left if you're looking at it from here. Now that gives us access to the radiator. So what we're looking at is this pipe up here and this pipe down here. So we just need a little pick to pull these metal sort of tabs out of the way. I'm going to drop the bottom one off first and get something to collect whatever fluid is left, and then we'll go from there. But it's a really easy replacement. I am missing the engine cover and the engine tray, so if you still have your under tray, that will need to be removed, quite possibly, unless you want to do a messy job of it. But I would suggest removing the under tray, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So I'll pick on these 2 metal clips here. Yeah, you've got an extra 2 T20s. If you look just above the AC there, you've got a T20 and the same on the other side, and that's all that's holding it in once you've taken off both hoses. So I'm going to take them off now, and we should be out with the old. So this is the old one out. I'm not sure what's happened here, but it's clearly just failed somehow. As you can see, one of the vanes is actually bent. I can't see any holes, but it's completely saturated, so there must be some damage in there somewhere. So it's these veins running through from side to side that carry the water, and then these fins sort of do the cooling, if you will, let the air pass through, etc. So yeah, it's kind of out of shape as well at the bottom there. So I'm just going to compare the two parts to each other, make sure right size, got the same bolt holes, etc. So that'll be the top, and that'll be the bottom. So yeah, they look bang on, from what I can tell. And obviously this looks much nicer. So yeah, we're gonna just reinstall this now. In the box also, I've got this screw here with 2 O-rings, and what it says here is one screw is for an automatic, one is for a manual. It comes pre-installed for the manual, so there's nothing I need to do there for the screw at the bottom. So this is just spare part by the looks of it. Not sure what these O-rings are for yet, possibly on the 2 ends, top and bottom, so I'll have a look into that now. But probably need to use some silicone grease, something like that, just to lube these up, just so they go on nicely and create a nice seal. But yeah, it's a very simple job. It's taken me less than 15 minutes to get to this point, so hopefully it's smooth sailing now, and get this reinstalled. So yeah, I've just taken out the 2 old O-rings that actually sit in the pipe here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some of this multi-purpose silicone grease, lube the 2 new O-rings, and pop them into where they need to go, just in there. I'll show you how they go now. So as you can see, where my finger is there, new seal is in place, all greased up, all lubed up, and now it's time for reinstallation. So I'm just going to pop this little weather strip, something like that, on the bottom, and then I'm going to push it into place. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Not sure how these all go back on, but just pop them into place. So once you've installed the 2 T20s in the top corners, now you want to put the pipes on nice and firm, put the clip back in place and give it a wiggle, make sure it doesn't come back out. They're pretty easy push on fitting, so can't go too wrong. Just make sure you've clamped it all the way to the back, and you can pretty much see the flange there where it needs to sit. Yeah, pretty easy, I gotta be honest. So now it's time for the fan, and then reinstall all the plastics. And the only thing with the fan is it needs to click into these 2 positions. They just slide into those positions down there, and it needs to just clamp onto the top. It doesn't clamp, it just guides itself and clamps itself to the back of the radiator, so it just can't sort of lean one way. So that's in there securely now. Just got to get that 1 T20 in this top corner here, and then plugging back in. Can do that now. Hear the click. Put this pipe back on here. That should just ratchet in, sort of thing. Easy as that. And now just that T20, put the plastics back on and fill up your rad, and it's pretty much of that, guys. Right, so next steps after everything is back together is fill up your coolant. What I would do, check for leaks, drop it off the jack stands, let the car run, turn your blowers onto hot in the cabin, make sure all the water's bled through. Then you want to get it up to temp, because you want your thermostat to open, send in the hot air through the entire system, and then top it off as necessary. You've got a little float inside there, this little orange thing, which will float when your coolant reservoir is full. So you just want to do that until you're full. It probably will need topping up once you've ran the car a little bit, but as long as you've got hot air coming through the cabin, you know you've bled the car correctly. And that is pretty much it. It's gonna take obviously a few liters of water just to fill that radiator up. It does hold quite a bit of water and some coolant, so that's pretty much it for the install, guys. If you like this little video, give it a thumbs up if I have helped you in any way. It's really easy and it doesn't take much. It takes a T20, a pair of trim tool clip things, which you could easily do with a pair of pliers or something like that. And then if you've got the under tray, I think it's all 8mm to take that off. So it's really easy. You can get it done in under an hour if you're at home on your driveway, anything like that. But yeah, it's just really finding out where your leak's coming from. So it is best to get it pressure tested by a garage, or buy a pressure tester yourself, but you will need, no you won't, because it's a hand pump. So you can get the hand pump tools online and you can do this all yourself. The Radiator was £110. And yeah, I don't know how much you pay at a garage, but I assume it would be an hour or two's labour. So add 100 quid on that easily. So the way I see it, I've saved 100 quid here. But you've got 30 quid for the bottle of coolant as well. So you're looking about 150 to 200 to do it yourself, and then probably like 300 for a garage to do it. So keep that in mind if you're doing it. It's 2024 now. If you're watching this, that's how much it cost me right now. So there you are, guys. Job done. Just a little side note. This is the pump I was on about to check to pressurize the system. So I've added up to 1 bar, and everything's holding up nicely.